Well, this isn't what I've got planned. I've started a Midland 76 900 base station, which will be vlogging on eBay. But the display got two bars out, and I've had to do some research to kind of track down what that display is. I think we've got it right, but I've had to pay an arm and a leg from the United States for a particular make. And one of the problems there is that in the service information, the part number isn't given. Mind you, they're 30-something years old, you're not going to get the original anyway. So, I've forgotten what brand it is, but it's distributed by an American firm. I think I've had to pay £20 for two of them. So, you know, if it had been something from China for 99 pence, it would be a bit easier, wouldn't it? So that's a hold up on that. So we're going to do this Midland, or is this a 38? So it's an 80 channel under the PR27 approval. So it's going to be crystal filtered. Oh, excuse me. It's going to be crystal filtered. What's it got? S meter. So is that heatsink because it's more than 12 volts? I don't know. I think we've seen one before. It also comes with the original mic. That's the front for the base station. That's where we got to with the base station. It was kind of basically working fine. It's kind of got a rusted case. I'll probably rub that over and do something, but it's probably the best one I've seen. It's not been messed with. Isn't that wonderful? Right. I think we've got a brand new one in a box. Yeah, we have. We have a brand new one in a box on the shelf. Right, we're connected up. So we're out of power. Let's see what it does. I think that's a power regulator board. I may be wrong. Yeah, we've got wires go over there. I'll probably need the circuit diagram. I don't even remember doing one of these before. Why won't that go on? That's not right. You can't actually easily grip this because of the heatsink, which has got beautifully sharp edges. Good grief, it's still not quite as tight as I want it. Right, power on. We've got Mark here for a week, so we'll probably get some more untested CBs labelled up. Right, let's power it up. Right, power supply's not on. That's better. So once it's on UK channels, I'll have to change glasses to see that display. So we'll switch between UK and EU. It has those two banks of 40, and of course it's FM only because it's 1997. Right. I think the phase lock loop chip is one of these epoxy blob chips on the other side of the board. See what it does. So switch picture in picture on. I'll tell you that so that it doesn't appear you know I actually did press the button. Here goes. Better go to the main meter though, hadn't we? So it says it's transmitting, but it isn't. Now, is this one of the sets with a fake power meter? Which means absolutely nothing. Right, I'm going to switch the signal generator to signal generator mode. So we're on output channel 20 in UK. And we can see there is a signal. Right, we'll plug the test instruments in. You may be able to hear that. Yep. 10 microvolts, 3 microvolts, 1 microvolt, 0.3. Okay, well we'll do that first. Let's go to the cyanide meter. Very good, 0.39. Naught 0.34, 0.91, squelch to maximum. Let's go to the attenuator so you can see what I'm doing. 1, 3, 10, 30, 100 is exactly where I want it to be. And at the other end, switching the signals generator to standby, threshold came in at 0.3. S9 on the meter, for what it's worth, is 1 bar. Yeah. I'll put low because I can't actually get it to do 4 bars. So on transmit, what happens when we key up, we get 4 bars. In fact, it started transmitting. I wonder if there's a dry joint. I've no experience of these, so it started transmitting. Meter lamp's okay, it does have that. Switches are okay. Potentiometer seems to be okay. Sockets are okay. I've not tested the S-meter one. Doesn't have that. It's got that, and we haven't tested that. Frequency, let's go to the frequency counter, and is it one of these we're going to have to unplug the extension speaker to key up? It is 2779089. We haven't got a VCO technique. Deviation, so we'll do this properly on the other test set. Wallow. A lot of noise. Is that the test set? Let's see what it sounds like on the monitor set. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, there's no transmitted audio. Wallow 1 2 1 2. Wallow. Yeah. No audio. So now he's transmitting. Probably. No, it's not. Now it is transmitting. 2779089 as we've said. And it's doing 3.3 watts. And what I'm going to do is put that as CPT, UK and UK, so we'll look at it over the 80 channels. Doesn't have low power because it's not a 2781 set. The transmit current is 1.017 amps. So we could use it up down on the mic, but we're not going to bother. So go to channel 40. I had the Kerno one of these in my Sherpa van when I had a Sherpa van, and I couldn't see this, and I was constantly in the wrong mode. I'd be in CPT waiting for a call, expecting it to be on the UK channels. So the display was absolutely ridiculously small. Didn't work for me. Sure, they're a great set. I mean, yeah, as far as the set goes, it was all right. Right, 20. We're looking for 3.1 watts on channel 40. Let's go to CPT and go to channel 1. So we're now going to be at 26965, aren't we? Well, we are if it's going to go and transmit. Yeah, it's not a happy bunny. It's 350 milliwatts. Well, it has been screwdrivered, so there we are. So we'll be I'll be tuning it on channel 1 of UK, so it's in the centre of the 80 channels. Because we're selling this, we'll assume that the customer who buys it will want 80 channels, whereas I wouldn't. I would want it to be UK only. I might look up. There's a lot of adjustments. I don't think there's a transmit meter adjustment. I'm going to have to take this bottom off because it's clearly a dry joint. The no audio could turn out to be a dry joint. Ingress of moisture. Right, well that's a good point to start. There's your round the corner chip. Probably have to take those screen plates off. Yeah. So deal with that and be back in an hour. Right, well I had a quick look for some dry joints. Got no transmitted audio still. And it doesn't appear to be the microphone because probing around the mic socket and we still have no joy. If I key up, I've got my walkie-talkie on and you'll see there's absolutely nothing. I think VR4 is deviation. See where if we can find VR4. That looks like 5. What's that at the back? I'd like to see if we can go through some of this instead of just wasting time looking at it. Let's do some doing. So our transmitter is going to be this lineup. We want to be on channel 1 of UK. So we're in the centre of the band. Trying to find where the peak is. There it is. That wasn't out. So is that power? Because it goes to a voltage regulator. Yes. So we can vary the power. We want that at full, just while we do the tune-up. It's 3.6 watts at the moment. You just need to verify really that that's one we do. L3. This is in a 90 set that still gave you a circuit diagram in the instruction book. L3. Did I say L3? Yes, that looks on the list. About 3.8, 3.9. Let's check we haven't got any of these silly fixed ones which have got messed with. The set's certainly been messed with. No, that one's fine. Check that one. That one's fine. At the moment, this was cooled down a bit. I think we can safely say 3.9. Now, I just want to turn this down. There's a point at which it makes no more difference, which is there. So 3.9 watts on UK channel 20. That UK channel 1, we're not making a note of that. We're going to go to CPT, and we've got what? We've got 4 watts now at CPT channel 1. So go over to UK, we're going to look for 20. It's 3.6 watts. And channel 40. And we're looking at 3.5 watts. Right, let's go back to channel 20. Current consumption is now 1.056. And you can see, with that being 350 milliwatts before, now 4 watts, that it's a bit more straightened out. Frequency. Let's go over to the frequency counter. 27,79107. Now everything's warmed up, so it needs popping on frequency. going the other way now. I think that's about where it's going to be. 27,79122. I don't expect we've suddenly got a deviation. Wallow, nope. And the meter is fake. Doesn't matter what you do, there is no connection between the transmitter and the metering circuit up here. So this is one of the first sets which is fake as far as the meter goes. So means absolutely nothing. It's just like having a TX light. I wonder if we can prove that by turning the power right down. Let's turn the power right down. So it's now doing, let's go back to the main meter so you can see what I'm telling you. Tell you what, we'll go on the 3 watt scale. So there's 3 watts, 1.7 watts. It's a full set of bars. Now we'll tune this back to the maximum. So that is maximum, and then till it just starts making a difference, which is there. So full set of bars. Really impressive. Not. Right, so that's doing what it's doing. We need to come back to deviation. Let's look at the receiver. Put the test gear back in. Oscilloscope on. Let's look at the oscilloscope. S9 equivalent signal on the test set, which is already there. We want the detector coil. That looks to me like the detector coil. And if that's the case, well, I've just done it. You know what, I'm just going to turn this set off. I'm going to look under this regulator board. Make sure we haven't got a hidden preset. This will be the 24 volt regulator, because it's a 1224 set, even though it doesn't say on the back. And hey presto, it's one of the presets underneath. What is it? Looks like VR1, but I never found a VR1 in the circuit. And it's near, that means nothing, it's near the receiver. Oh yeah, VR1 squelch. And we'll just prove that. So at the moment, if we put squelch to full, it opens at 100 microvolts. No, it doesn't, since I've adjusted the detector. So let's adjust this preset. Yep, that's squelch. That's back right. We'll keep that board dangling for a moment while we do the receiver. Okay, turn the squelch down. So go over to the cyanide meter. Oh, we need to be doing this on channel 1, don't we? So retune the test set to 27.60125. That's where we are. Drop the attenuator a bit. I'll put the biggest signal on for a moment for that one. To make sure we're right. Yep. So our detector there, front end, and that's the IF. I'm going to have to look at the layout for what that preset is. So we've done the squelch. One of these is going to be S meter. There's VR3 and VR2 is external S meter. But what I'm going to have to print off a layout because I just can't see. I think the components are shoved in on top of the writing. So we'll do that, and then we'll see, having done all that work, as to whether we're ever going to get transmitted audio. You couldn't make it up. I'm really talking out of my hat. We've done the Midland 38 before. There's the thingy. Don't have to explore it again. That back one's deviation, and it's not a fake meter on this one. Variable resistor 2 is the meter. So variable resistor 2. I thought this was the first of the fake sets as far as metering went. That one. Make sure we're in transmit mode. And unplug the speaker. You know what, I'm going to turn the power down again because it's not having any effect. So I'll turn the power down. Right, it's down to 1.5 watts. Well, that's not doing anything, is it? Right, back to the S meter then. The speaker back in. S9 on the test set. No, you see, it's S meter. So whether or not it's different between this version is the one without the regulator. It's empty there. So whether or not that was a mistake, we don't know. So we know that's squelch. That's the S meter. So what's this then? Is this the... Oh, you've got external and internal, haven't you? No, so I'll stand by the... It doesn't have a meter, it doesn't have an RF meter. In fact, it's got two presets. You balance it for the S meter to read-write between that and an external meter if you're going to do that. Well, I'm not bothering with external meters these days. I'll just change channel instead. There we go. We can check that it works on 24 volts. How about that? For some reason, our 20 volts is 18. There we go. Do you remember when I did this on a Moonraker set and it blew up? So we're now at 24 volts. Just to verify. So that connected to our trusty crocodile clip leads. Hopefully there we go. We're back on. .24 volts. Of course, it's powered on channel 9. So, out of interest, wonder what it does on transmit on 24 volts. Because we need to set this back. If you remember, we've turned it down. I'm going to get in and out of this stupid speaker. It'll go beyond 4 watts, won't it, on 24 volts? Interesting. So we'll drop the power down to 13.8 again. And put it back on channel 1. That's 4 watts, it's cooled down. So just put it on channel 40 to see what we've got there now. Yeah, it's still 3.5. Good. So we've done the transmitter, we've done the receiver, we've done the squelch. So we're all ship shape. There's deviation. So let's see. I'll tell you what, we can put this regulator board back. We know the set works on 24 volts. I'll turn the power off. So I think if you've got this heatsink on the back, it's a 24 volt version. I've seen these say that it's the extra version or whatever they call it. This just says Midland 38. It does not say extra. This circuit, does this show the extra bit? I don't think this does. Right, deviation. We should turn the set upside down so we can get to the bottom side of the deviation preset. because it could just be a faulty preset. I'm going to take it to channel 20 to do this, then we're not messing about. Voila. Right, we've got no deviation. Let's go over to the deviation meter on the test set, which is there. Put the monitor receiver on. Key up. And we can see we are transmitting, but no audio. So I'll grab the metal screwdriver and see if I can get a hum through from my fingers from that deviation preset, which is just about where that screw is. The answer is I can. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Should be off the scale though. So we need to look at the circuit diagram and see where it goes. I think if we go straight down to the varicap diode, I think we're applying it to diode 16. This is where I should have had that layout again, which I didn't. It's going to be in the middle of that wax, isn't it? Yes, Mr. Tango, it's going to be in the middle of the wax. Dry joints around there. Okay, so that's sorted that out. We've got a dry joint around there. I will go over it with the isopropyl alcohol where we are at deviation. So just need to set the deviation because it was any old place. We'll just check it on the first test set on here, and then we'll go back onto the one we know is calibrated right. Wow. That should be a peak of 2.5. So turn the monitor receiver off, which is bipping a flat battery. We bought, we bought that other car, which is 19-year-old Nissan Almera. Do you think we should put another radio in that and use that as a secondary test vehicle? And if so, do you think we should do exactly the same as the Nissan Leaf, which we use as a test car, and have the Thunderbolt 3000, which we'd have to buy, because the one which we currently have was very kindly sent to us at no charge by Thunderbolt, because I'd said on a video the only set of current production that I'd be prepared to have in one of the test cars was a Thunderbolt 3000. Lo and behold, they sent me one. And that's when we moved from the Midland 78, which we really ought to sell, to that. So do we put a Midland 78 in our Nissan Almera? Do we not bother with any CB? Or do we go out and buy a Thunderbolt 3000? Answers on a postcard, please. Let's see what this says. Wallow, wallow. Yeah, that's right. Good, the Marconi's not lying today. Right, so I'll leave it at that for now, and it just needs the lids putting on, I need to go over it with isopropyl alcohol and let that dry. So Mr. Chippy's just been through this for dry joints. We've just taken the shield plate off. 1 2 1 2. 1 2. I kind of got it working, but I wanted him to make sure because he's better at it than me. So I'll turn it off and we'll put the shield plate back on. And then I think we're doing an on-the-air test. So there we are. Just make sure it still works. Remember to switch it back on to... Oh, it was on 20.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Right, quick check it still transmits.
Testing 1 2, 1 2 1 2.
And we will unplug the test equipment, switch it off, and plug the roof aerial in, which I keep saying is an Antron 99, mounted just above gutter level on a single-storey building without the optional ground plane kit. Oh, UK channel 19, 1 Anna Roger. I thought the days of dry joints had gone by the time we got to the Midland 38, but obviously not. Right, go to EU channels. Let's go 1 Anna Roger EU, 1 Anna Roger. Back to UK. What? Do you know what? I've just realised I've got a fluorescent light on which causes interference. The one in the room where we keep the ultrasonic cleaner for cleaning records. This masking all the radio traffic. I'm just going to turn it off. Right, so we'll try again. Usual sound effects. 1 Anna Roger. It's a slow and laborious channel change. Press wait, press wait. over to 19 on CPT. 1 on Roger. There was somebody there, wasn't there? Oh, it's foreign interference. But he's not doing 4 watts.
CQ from Italy, CQ from Italy. My name is Fabio. Fabio from Italy.
Hello, Fabio from Italy. This is Richard from Grantham in Lincolnshire. I'm not going to get him, I'm full. QRZ. Well, that's exactly what I don't want to hear. So, look at the rubbish squelch range. And we know it's set for 100 microvolts. Right, well, there we are. All done. We're putting this one on eBay. Original mic. And thanks for watching Midland 38 from around about 1997.